Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. We are on the air. This is Thesis.
3, 2, 1, we are on the air. This is Thesis. Everything is everything. I am your host, Jay Marie. How's it going out there, folks? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for showing up and hanging out with us today. Coming to you live from Zombieland. Yes, sir. Well, I want to thank you for showing up and hanging out with us today, checking in on us. It's been a minute, but we are here, and I am happy to be here with you guys. So I really appreciate y'all for being here. Before we get started, if you are new to the show and you do like what you hear, please don't forget to hit the like button wherever you're listening to us, the subscribe button wherever you're listening to us or watching us. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on X. We're doing a lot of things on X, so you want to go over there and follow us there. You can reach out to me on our socials. So want to do that ahead of time. So get that out of the way, and we just go ahead and get started. So I've been thinking a lot for the past few weeks about what we needed to talk about, and I think it's pretty clear that we need to have like a little civics lesson in the hood, like for us and whoever else. But we need a civics lesson because I think we've kind of forgotten a little bit, or maybe we've become disconnected with what exactly is that we are. We're a, people say we're a democracy, right? And then during elections, you always hear our democracy is in danger, right? You hear that a lot lately. Our democracy is in danger, right? Oh, we're a democracy. You hear that. Well, what exactly are we? Are we a democracy? Are we a republic, right? Constitution, we got the Declaration. What is all this stuff, right? So I want to talk a little bit about these things, about what exactly some of these things are and what do they mean, but what they should mean to us, to you, to me, the individual, right? The citizen of our country, right? So we're going to have a little civics lesson. We're going to talk a little bit about the Constitution. We're not going to get all, we're not going to get all like a lecture or nothing, but we're going to jump in and out about different things. You know how we like to mix it up here. So let's start off with what we are, right? We're a constitutional republic. A republic is where different cities and states, whatever, come together to form like a government together, but they all still have their autonomy or something like that, right? Like in Rome, I'm sorry, in Athens, back in Greece, Athens was a democracy. So when we think of democracy, we think of voting, and right, and the majority rules. So there is some of that here in our nation. That's kind of like what we do, right? We vote for our presidents, we vote for our local leaders and for our governors and stuff like that, right? As in different jurisdictions, right? So we're a democracy, right? But there's also something else to it. So like in Athens, they were a democracy. They were a pure democracy. All the citizens, well, certain citizens, the ones that had the right to vote in Athens, would vote for everything, like generals and people who ran the treasury and every single department or office of the government system. The people voted and the majority ruled. And are we going to go to war? Well, let's vote for it. Majority rule, no. Okay. So that's a pure democracy where it's absolute about the voting and what's the issue at hand, and the majority rules and the decisions are made in that way, right? So we're not quite like that. It was somewhat, but not exactly. That's what we would call like a pure democracy. We're not a pure democracy because we have a constitution. So the Constitution underlies protections for its citizens, and then we use a democratic system to fill in these positions in our cities, in our government systems, right? So the republic is what so when we look at what a republic is, then we look at the Constitution. So the Constitution lays out the fundamentals of what can and can't be done, right? And there's been constitutions throughout history, uh, uh, but none quite, I believe, like ours that actually uh, specified to the governing body what it can't do to its citizens. That's the deal that all the states, when they agreed, and when they came together and signed the declaration, and then they came together for the Constitutional Convention, they all agreed on these certain principles that, hey, government can't intrude on your house, and they can't spy on you, on the citizen, all these different things that they said. These things have to be, we have to line these things out, because this is the protection for the citizen. So when we're thinking about our constitutional republic, our constitution protects you, protects me, the citizen, the people of the nation, right? It tells the government you can't do these things. And then it also delineates the different powers and who's going to legislate, who's going to administrate, who's going to the judicial branch, right? So it separates the power as much as it can, because we don't want to concentrate power into, we don't want to have concentrated power, right? We want to have decentralized power, in our federal government, but also in our states, right? So decentralization is kind of like the key to what a republic is, while our constitution protects certain rights that they're not like we've declared them, they're natural rights. Like in the Declaration, in the Declaration of Independence, it talks about the laws of nature and nature's God, the way things are, right? But it takes wisdom to know what those things are. So the men who wrote these, the Declaration and the Constitution, they were very wise, and they understood what these things meant. Este, so our republic is very unique in a way that we use our democratic, we use a democratic system where we vote and stuff, but then we also have the Constitution that says there's certain lines that can't be crossed, right? It lays everything out. Now it can be amended, but the process is hard, and they made it hard purposefully, so it wouldn't be changed willy-nilly, right? So like, let's look at like what a republic, like we're in the hood, right? So like I want to tell a story like what we do. So a lot of us, when we used to ride dirty or whatever, we'd be carrying drugs or guns or whatever, and we're going through different cities. So the different jurisdictions, right? So when I go between Dallas and Plano, let's say, there's an imaginary line, right? There's a certain street, a certain line, imaginary line, that divides the two jurisdictions. Now, the rules, the city rules in Dallas, the charter and whatever, and all this stuff is different in Dallas than it is in Plano. But they both have to properly agree to defend the laws of the Texas and its constitution, right? The laws of Texas and its constitution, and also the Constitution of the United States, right? So those are like different jurisdictions, invisible lines, right? The Constitution of Texas ends at the border, at our Texas border, right? The Constitution of the United States ends at the border of our nation, right? So these laws and these rules, they're divided by invisible lines, right? So like for instance in Dallas, you can get caught with some bud, right? With some bud up to about an ounce, and you'll only get a ticket, right? And because they don't care about that. It's a big city. They don't really got time to be wait. They're not gonna arrest you. They're gonna write you a ticket and take your weed away, whatever. But like in Plano, you're probably gonna get arrested, right? But now the state laws have certain, they're not decriminalized, but it's like lesser penalties for certain amounts and stuff like that. But different jurisdictions um uh uh, uh enforce those laws differently, right? In Dallas, they might say, nah, I'm not going to waste my time. But in Plano, they might say, well, I'm going to take you in and book you and do the whole process and give you your whatever, right? So that invisible line separates those two processes on how people are going to do what they do, right? But that line doesn't matter if so that invisible line doesn't matter if the people aren't willing to I know how I need to behave while I'm in Dallas. I know how I need to behave while I'm in Plano. Same thing with the states. That invisible line that goes between Texas and Louisiana or Oklahoma, whatever. There's those lines, those invisible lines, demarcate different laws, right? It's an invisible line. This because somebody said a long time ago that, hey, this right here, our laws end here and your laws begin here, right? But then when we think of like the federal law, it doesn't end anywhere. It goes over all the different boundaries. But these laws, these invisible lines, wouldn't mean anything if we wouldn't adhere to them, right? If nobody would adhere, if the landowners and the people who are there and the businesses and whatever wouldn't adhere, it's like those lines don't mean anything. But as long as we know and understand that the law has power, then that helps us understand that, no, yeah, I know that if I get caught with drugs crossing these lines or whatever, there's going to be problems and issues, right? Whatever the case may be. And certain laws in states are different than other states, right? But it's just an invisible line. So how is it that how does this damn so many states, so many counties, so many cities, right, across this whole nation, right? How is it that we've been able to, like, damn, last so long with everybody just following these invisibles, right? Because it takes like a fidelity to the law. It takes a fidelity to the Constitution, to the Revolution, to be able to say that I understand how law works. I understand how boundaries work, jurisdictions, state jurisdictions, county jurisdictions, city jurisdictions. They're invisible lines, but that clearly demarcate law, right? So people throughout that, couple hundred years that we've been around have had fidelity to that, to the fundamental ideals in the Constitution and in the Revolution about natural rights, and that fidelity to those documents and those rules of nature, because see, the way our government works is, I think here's the thing, that we have a problem in the hood. We've lost something. Like, I see it all the time. It's like, I see people in the neighborhoods or in the hoods or in the ghettos or whatever. It's like they're looking for their answer to government, right? I can't afford whatever. I'm looking to the government to help me with my rent. I can't afford to get food, so I'm looking to the government for my food, right? For retirement. I'm looking to we look towards the government for all these things that if let's say in the state of nature, there wouldn't be no retirement. There wouldn't be no housing help. There wouldn't be no food help, right? But we do that because we can. But the government, the citizenry, through our government, we help each other because we can and we are able to, right? And it's a good thing. That's something that we need. But there's become a dependence in us in the hood, in the inner cities, on government for all of our answers. Looking for a savior in government, when for so long people have survived without the help of a government paying for their food or for their rent or helping them with whatever. For thousands of years, people have survived in nature through with using nature's laws without the help of any centralized authority. So in the hood, we be looking, because then you could look on the news or on the socials or TikToks or whatever, and you see a lot of us in the hood as to how we're voting certain ways, or how certain people are never for us, or white people, and they're always trying to rile us up about certain things that you know so when we're all citizens, we should all have this feeling towards each other as a family, because we are all part of this family, this national family, right? Uh because we're all part of the different states, and then we're all part of the union, the United States. So we should all have a feeling of a family towards each other, towards the different states, towards our neighbors, right? We should have these things. Nobody, we shouldn't see each other as competitors in anything. I mean, there's business and there's sports and all this, but in our everyday lives, everybody is just trying to survive. Like here in the hood, we're just trying to survive, and I see it every day. When I go to the grocery stores, I see it in people's eyes. People are struggling, and they're just trying to survive every day. So we put our fidelity, we put our hope, and our in our we give these we delegate our sovereign right to these people that represent us in our cities or in our government, in our state government. So we put our faith in them to do the right thing, because we're busy. I'm busy. I'm trying to earn a living. My dog is sick. Our home, we need repairs. Everybody has issues that they need to that they're working on, that they're we don't have time. I shouldn't have to be worried about what the government is doing with my tax dollars, if they're wasting that property, right? I shouldn't have to worry about it, because we all have faith that these people that we put in place are going to do the right thing. Right? What is the right thing? Well, hopefully they would know. Hopefully we will find out. We should know whatever that right thing is. Right? It's not what's right just for me. What's right for all of us. But we look at the situation that we're in, and it's almost like they're plundering our treasury. Like money just goes out and never comes out back over here. And here's the thing is we're not looking for handouts. A lot of people, some people might be, but we're not looking for handouts. We're looking for a political structure, a political system that allows us to be successful. I want the government out of our way so I could run our business, so I could try to make some money, so they won't just tax us on our properties, on whatever money we produce. They're trying to take taxes on everything we got, and then what? So they could just give it away and spend it on God knows what. Meanwhile, the homeless are suffering, the addicts are suffering, people in the hoods are suffering, prices of food, people can't even buy food. Now, we're not looking for a handout. That's what I want to stress, that. But Americans are suffering, and trillions of dollars are just flowing out to who knows where, God knows where, to who knows what, while our people are starving, while our people are dying on the streets because of drugs and fentanyl. There's homeless situation is out of control in certain states. Our borders are wide open, and we have faith. We had faith in our leaders, not just in our state leaders, but in our federal leaders, that they're going to follow these laws, these laws in the Constitution, and these things that they're supposed to do because they work for us. But no, we sit back and what do? They throw crumbs at us and we're happy. Look at us in the hood. People are waking up, but look for how long have they used us? How long have they kept us just, conformed? Here's a little something, settle down. Here's a little, child income tax credit. Here's a little stimulus, a little sum, just here, pennies, crumbs, while their friends in other nations and whatever the hell's going on, getting billions and billions of dollars. Meanwhile, we're the ones that are suffering. Where's their fidelity to the Constitution? Where is their fidelity to the rule of law, to the laws of nature? Right? So we have to live a certain way to survive. I have to respect my neighbors, right? I have to drive properly if I want to make it to work, right? I have to behave in a certain manner at the grocery stores when I'm in line, when I'm at the bank, when we're doing these things. There's certain things that we have to do for society to work properly amongst ourselves, amongst the citizens, the neighbors here at the store and stuff. That's not even that's not even thinking about what they have to do in government or whatever these people are doing in the federal government or whatever. Right? But how do we know? How do we know what's right or what's wrong? Or what should they be doing? We're like, we don't know what the Constitution says. They don't want to teach it to us, right? In the schools anymore. Civics lessons and history lessons. It's all been darkened by hate and anger towards Columbus, towards the Europeans, towards the whatever, towards the white people that did certain things to the blacks or whatever. It's all been guided away from fundamental ideals, principles that are valuable in understanding how our government works, how our society works, right? What should I be? What's my fidelity to if I don't even know what the Constitution says? I didn't even, right? If we don't even know that paper belongs to you, it's not even a paper. That document, that thing that has been declared in paper belongs to you, the citizen. It protects you. It protects us from the government spying on us, from the government taking our property, from the government overtaxing us. It lays out a fundamentals that says the government should protect our borders. The government should have a proper business regulatory system between the states so we can achieve, like the dollar used in the $1 in the 1920s, 100 years ago, was worth $100. $1 could buy what $100 could buy. Well, not with inflation now, but that's how much these people that we've put our trust in over the years and the system in our government that they didn't have any fidelity to. That's what they've done to our money. That's your money. That's our money. That's your children's money, your grandchildren's money. Think about it. A grandfather from, 50 years ago saving $100,000, which was probably worth close to $1 million, and saying, man, my kids are going to get this. My grandkids are going to get this. Now, it's not even worth what it was back then. It can't even buy. It doesn't have the same purchasing power that it did back then because of whatever regulatory systems with the banks and their monetary systems or whatever the hell it is that they're doing, because they don't have any fidelity. These leaders that are in our government, whoever they are, don't have fidelity in our Constitution, in our revolution. They don't care about the citizen. When you hear your representatives, when you hear your senators, and when you hear your politicians pay more attention and want to give more to outsiders, to foreigners, than they want to their citizenry, to their residents, that should be a loud and clear answer that these people, these leaders, and whoever they are, your mayors, your governors, your presidents, your whoever they are, they don't care about you. They don't care about us. They're always talking about, oh, the poor people, and look, the Mexicans or the blacks and the Hispanics, we're poor and we need help and whatever. Now what? Now what? They just sweep us aside. They just sweep us aside. Why? Because they didn't never really care about us. They care about power. And they see that they are losing power because people are waking up. They see it. So what are they doing? They want to replace us, you and me, with foreigners that they can dictate to, that they can, you know, uh, uh, manipulate and abuse with laws and with, scare tactics of about racism or whatever it is the hell that they do. These people are tyrannical. Any mayor, any governor, any senator, any congressman, woman, any president that prefers foreigners over its citizen, that's textbook tyrant. That's a tyrant. That's the despot. That's the despotism that Plato talks about, that Socrates talks about in Plato's Republic. The tyrant doesn't care about his citizens. He prefers the foreigner because they will be easier to manipulate. The foreigner doesn't know our constitution. The foreigner doesn't know our Declaration of Independence. The foreigner doesn't know what our forefathers went through. They're not connected to it, so they won't care. They don't care because they don't know about it. So the tyrant is smart. The tyrant knows what they're doing. The tyrant plays chess, thinking moves ahead. And the tyrant likes to abuse us in the hood. They always do. Because they are willing and counting on our ignorance. They know we are ignorant because they took certain things out of the schools, in our public schools. They removed certain things about civics and our founding and those things, and they replaced it with garbage. So they know that at least for a couple generations, they know that we're ignorant to these things. So along could come a politician, a church leader, a neighborhood leader, a mayor, a governor, whatever. Along could come these political savvy people and say certain words that offend, that'll rile us up, right? Because your skin color, you're never gonna be nothing, and they rile us up because we're already ignorant. They know we're ignorant, so they are counting on it to use us and abuse us and manipulate us, and they do it. But there is an awakening happening in the hoods. It's happening all over Twitter, all over the socials. You can see it. They see it. If we can see it, they see it, and they see the real numbers, the real amounts of blacks turning towards the Republican Party, of Hispanics coming towards the Republican Party. They see it. So the power hungry people in government, and there's some on both political parties. There's political hungry bastards from both political parties that have tried their best to kind of like just ingrain themselves in everything that is in the bowels of our government. But they know that there's an awakening happening because we are starting to educate ourselves. People are starting to learn the Constitution. Damn, you're telling me I have the right to carry a gun and protect my home? Damn, you're telling me I have the right to say whatever the hell I want to my mayor, to my governor, to my president? I have that right, right? So people are starting to learn these things, and that alone is giving them that alone is awakening people's like a bravery inside to speaking up and to talking to others and waking up their neighbors and stuff. Because that fidelity, right? That fidelity that I was talking about earlier to the Constitution, right? To each other as a family, right? That this we this government belongs to us, belongs to you. But we have a duty also. We have a duty also to make sure we delegate our power properly with the right people who will also show fidelity to our laws and to our way of life and to our Declaration of Independence and Constitution. We have a duty. That's where the democracy part comes in. Is leaving it up to us to send somebody from my neighborhood, to Congress, but also to the city council and also to the state legislature, right? It's up to me. The Constitution has given us it's a natural right for us to participate, you know, but there's political savvy people that will abuse that power that they have over us because they're smarter than us. They know some things. They look nice. They dress fancy. Damn, look how they talk. She has a degree from Harvard and he has a degree from whatever. So they gotta know what they're talking about. I'm gonna put my trust in them. But meanwhile, they're snakes, right? So our duty as citizens of this great nation is to pay more attention to who I'm going to send to represent me in my city or in my state or in the federal government, right? So we need to know some things. We need to educate ourselves, and we have been, but more, right? More people need to wake up. More people need to start educating each other. More people need to start talking to each other like what we do here or on the socials or on the different places making videos or whatever it is that they do. More of it needs to happen because we are the people. That's not just a slogan, and that's not just something you put on a fortune cookie or something. Nah. This whole government belongs to you, to me. But our duty is also to be faithful, to the laws of our nation and our state, faithful to each other. We have to learn some things, right? We have to be strong-willed in mind, right? We have to be soldiers also because this is our land. So the democracy part, that's where we come in. That's where our duty comes in. But once we vote for who we put in place, then their duty as our delegated representative, they have to be faithful to the laws, and not just to the laws, but to our way of life, to what we are. We are America. We are Americans, right? Throughout history, there's only been a certain, you can say, oh, the Russians or this, that. No, but certain societies stand out, right? The Persians, they changed the world. They stand out. The Persian Empire did great things, right? Persia, right? In the Greek states, Greek, it meant something to be a Greek, to be a member of the Greek states, Greece, Athens, Sparta, all these great, Greek. We are American. American. The history books forever will speak about a society, a great society that was the American, where all men were free to choose their own destiny, right? The history books will speak about these people forever. But the story is still being written. We are a part of that story. You are a part of that epic. Some of you will leave your mark. How will you leave your mark? We can leave our marks in tiny little marks in the span of the history, in our neighborhoods, in our families, in our cities. It takes fidelity. It takes bravery to follow a standard These invisible lines, it's just writing on a paper. They're just words. They're more than words. They're principles, ideals. The people who wrote these, the Declaration, the people who came together to write the Constitution, they knew the Roman Republic. They knew the democracies in Greece and Athens. They saw the different, because they were, they learned through the history books and studied philosophy and law, and they tried to figure out what's the best thing that we could do here. What kind of government should we set up for the people? What is it that we're trying to do? Well, we want liberty. We want protection from, a king or from a administrator to come down upon the people the way the king has been doing to the colonies. We want to preserve liberty. We want to preserve property, right? So they came together and they said, well, look at all these things through history. What worked good in Athens? What worked good in Rome, the Roman Republic? What worked good through all these different things? And they took from pieces from each one and came together to give us what we have today. But at the foundation of it all is you, is me, is we. We are what this is all about. You, the citizen, not the politician, not the administrator, right? Not the administrative state, the CIA and the tax office and all these different, not about them. No, it's about you. It's about us. It's about protecting liberty and what's right. Your home, your life, your property. But back to if we don't respect each other, right? So we could look towards the hood and we look at, we're always fighting, and some neighborhoods are worse than others, and we're angry and mad and resentful, and we're broke, and and then they know that, so they rile us up and stuff, and so we're over there killing each other. Imagine if we came together. Imagine if we stopped fighting each other. Imagine if we learned a little bit something. One of the things that 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 has been shown clearly lately is that government can fix certain things if they wanted to, but they don't want to. Like in San Francisco, I believe the president of China was coming by, and San Francisco has a huge, I mean, every street, tents and homeless and everything. But lo and behold, when the dignitary came to town, the streets, no tents, no homeless, no nothing, all in the whole downtown area. Damn, what did they do? Somehow the city, the state, whatever, somehow they came through and cleaned everything up. There was no trash. Everything was clean. So they can do it, but they don't. They don't care. Some of these tyrannical leaders, they don't care about the citizens. I don't know what it is that they care about. But it is up to us to notice that. It is up to us. It is up to us to let that, I don't want to say infuriate, because this isn't about violence, but we should be, we should be a little angry. We should be a little mad that these people are wasting our money. We should be a little mad that, damn, so you're telling me the president from another country comes and you could get rid of all the homeless, put them in hotels or whatever the hell it is that you do for that person, but not for the American citizen? You can't do that for them on a just normally, like without somebody visiting. We have thousands of homeless all over the nation. Yet the government of certain states, the federal government, finds money to put people, foreigners who just simply decided to walk in, simply decided to cross Yeah, there's an imaginary line, but they have no fidelity to no law. They have no fidelity to no law and order. That's why they just cross right in, walk right in. And our leaders, who also don't have fidelity to no law and order, are allowing them to come in and giving them money for hotels, for food, for lodging, for whatever. Meanwhile, the citizen is suffering. The homeless man is suffering. The woman, the drug addicts are dying on the streets. People can't afford their food, their rent, but they have money to give to other nations, to foreigners. It should make you mad. It should make you mad, but a righteous anger. A righteous anger that's going to burn in your heart and say, you know what? I've had enough of this. You know what? I'm voting different this time. You know what? I'm not going to vote for the same party that I've been doing simply because I look like them or my skin color or because our family said, oh, we're in the hood, so we vote this way. Nah, it's time for Americans. It's time for you. It's time for people in the hood to wake up and say, I've had enough of this. How could it be that from a couple years back, things were great? We were balling, nigga. I had so much money. I was balling, fool. Everybody had money. And now, a couple years later, everybody's struggling. Everybody's living check to check. People can't afford their food. People can't afford their rent. But they got money. They're printing it and they're giving it away. And meanwhile, we're going to pay for it. That's coming out of our tax dollars. It's time to wake up, people. It's time to get angry, not violent. We're not violent. We come from the school of wisdom. We come from the school of art of war. Violence is last resort. I'm going to use violence if somebody's kicking in my door. I'm going to use violence if somebody's attacking me. That's it. Violence is last resort. This is about logic, reasoning, and how we're governed and how we govern ourselves. Now, if my life is all out of order, if I'm all angry, and if I'm broke and angry and resentful, and I'm, then of course I'm not going to be able to do anything good for. So let's straighten out ourselves up so we can all come together and say, no, what is it that we can do together to make our neighborhoods better, to make our city better, to get some of these people that been that we've voted for. Yeah, okay, fine. It's time to take responsibility. We've voted for some of these people right in the hood. We've been voting Democrat, whatever, for a long time. Okay, it's time to take responsibility and say, you know what? We're not going that route no more. We're going to try something different now. We're going to try something different because I'm tired of not being able to pay my rent. I'm tired of going to the store not barely having enough for food. $100 buys you a couple things. We're tired. But we have to work. We have to earn a living. We have to pay the rent. We have to pay our food. We have to buy food for groceries for our parents, for our kids. This is about you. All of it. Constitution, Declaration of Independence. It's about you. It's about me, the citizenry, the citizen of America. That belongs to us. That belongs to you. That treasury that they're plundering, that's your money. That's your grandchildren's money. We have a choice. You have a choice to do what's right or what's wrong. Are you going to be faithful? Are you going to have faith in the laws and order of our nation, of our Constitution? Are you going to have fidelity to our republic, to the citizenry? It's up to you. We have a lot of work to do, but it starts with you. Do the right thing. Time is getting short. So it's time that we do the right thing. All right. That's it. That's it. Wow. Thank you, Father. All right. That's it, folks. I thank you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your time. I've been wanting to come back. My doggy's been sick for a few months, and it's been really hard, because she's on her way out, and so it's really been really hard for me to get on here. But actually, I said we need to go for it today, and she's right here with me, sitting down next to me in her bed. But I needed to get through this, because this is a message that needs to be heard. We need to hear this message. We here in the neighborhoods, because we're the ones that are going to make the difference. You're going to make a difference, right? They've always used us for our votes and stuff. A certain political party has always used the minorities for their votes. So they're complicit. They're like, oh, we got them. We got them. Nah, you ain't got shit. You ain't got us. You ain't got me. I left a minute ago. I left the plantation a while back, but I am back here to try to save and free more of us. And I hope you do the same too. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, please don't forget to hit the like button on YouTube, on Spotify, hit subscribe on Spotify, on YouTube. Also, follow us on X. We are on X, J. Marie Thesis Pod. We are doing so much good things over there. We're growing, actually, much better than any other social. So please join us on X. Things are really good over there. I got a lot of clips. It's great. It's so much fun over there. I want to do some X spaces. You can always catch me on these X spaces. I'll be jumping in on them, but I do want to try to maybe host one myself. They're gonna be a little bit different, maybe more like lectures, kind of the way I do my show, but I really want to do that. So you should go over there and join us. Join us on X, J. Marie Thesis Pod. That's that. What else? That's it. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, please, just, it's time to do something. It's time to, you don't have to get politically active, but just talking to each other and doing the right thing at our homes, in our homes and in our lives at work. Let's just start doing that, and little by little, we're going to strengthen this family. We're going to strengthen this republic to where we can be once again that shining light, that shining city on a hill. That's what we were. The light is dimming, but it's up to us to fuel that fire for that light to be bright again. All right, so that's your duty. All right, folks. In the meantime, if you're new, just a quick thing is that we don't put out content every day or even every week, so you're gonna want to swing by and check often. I stay active on the socials, so please go over there and also go back and listen to some of our older stuff, which is excellent. All right, so in the meantime, folks, please stay safe, stay healthy, keep on this path that you are on, educating yourself, strengthening your mind, your body, and your soul, because it does us good. It's really good for us. So, all right, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you soon. Peace out, folks.
This is Thesis.